Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have Rumble vs Rengar, and Rumble has always been one of those hidden OP, juicy choices for those skillful junglers in high elo, because he's really reliant on skill issue. If you cannot pilot him, he looks terrible. If you're really good at him, I don't know, I don't think I've ever seen a Rumble lose lane lately, and that's largely because of those 13.5 buffs to his E, basically saying, hey, you know how you slow people, and if you hit it again, you double slow down? What if, instead of 10 flat percentage magic shred or reduction, we gave that a scaling number, like, you know, say 12 to 20, and then if you double stack it, that becomes 40. So double magic shred on a max range E or max leveled E equals a very dangerous Rumble, as you can see over there. Magic resist shred 12 to 20, and of course that will then stack as well. So what you're basically seeing is a champion that can dominate in the mid game, absolutely dominate. So if you can snowball a little bit and get yourself ahead, you're gonna have a lot of fun. And the cross timing here of the right side into the mid, we're going across 227. Like, that's absolutely fine, considering the Rengar is a bit faster, always will be, but you know, that's not shabby, right? That's not too shabby at all. Considering that most Viegos, while their perfection cross from say blue to red side quadrant here, can be like 219, if you reverse it over to most Viegos you're going to play, that's going to be around the same speed if you can optimize your Rumble clear path and manage your energy appropriately as well. So not too shabby whatsoever. And 245 onto the blue buff, you know, at least is busy ganking the Darius, but you're right here, you could rotate to this if it was swapped around. Always good to see those kinds of things. And we'll match up the clears here to see exactly how far away we are from a Rengar, who in theory should be 312 and under. And then obviously we have the Rumble here doing the grub at the same time, so it equalizes out quite nicely, and that's not a pun on his R being called the equalizer, although I will take the happy accident. We are now actually really damn close. The Rengar's going to finish it at 314, so a little bit slow on his end, and the Rumble obviously has 2 smites down versus the Rengar having 1 smite up, so actually I'm the idiot. That will actually speed us up quite a bit. Now, we do save this smite for the bottom side scuttle, and Rumble basically, don't know where we're going, but we're going places. You know, I don't think we need to save our smite there for the Rengar, because if we know the Rumble starts bottom side and goes up, there's no real reason to save the smite. Use it, get out faster, go look for that dive quick if you want it, and you've got a guaranteed snack on that Scuttle Crab regardless, right? You don't have to sit around and wait to coin flip it with the Rumble. Although, in this particular case, if you are showing with 24 CS, wasting a lot of time, Rumble does have the option for double Scuttle, but now he basically says, look, no, don't want to do that, want to go back to base, get my Dark Seal, as well as my M-Tome. And you know, this kind of tempo back and forth in Diamond is a very big problem. And in the Diamond course on my website, that I really talk a lot about. I call it tempo tennis. You know, when one jungler has the advantage, they don't use it. When another has the advantage, like, what? It's your turn to have, you take tempo, you take it. And it just keeps going back and forth. In higher elo, Master Plus, and this is especially a challenge thing, you're gonna have to start to use that at a very, very high level. Now, the Rengar's deciding to go for a tier 2 Krug invade. I cannot imagine why he would think this is a thing he needs to do. Right? Why on earth would you decide to go for a tier 2 Krug invade, knowing the Rumble is going to reset because you snacked this one? He doesn't show top side here. Obviously, this is possible now, but everyone's gone back to base. He's not going to float up here and sit until 4 minutes 20 for your Krugs. He's not going to do it. So obviously, he's going to reset and come down, and the Rengar just completely disrespects that. So now you're looking at, you know, your master level tracking is really not that great when you compare it to challenger level tracking. And Rumble will punish those who understand the tempo advantage, how to snowball games effectively. All the cool things I talk about in my content on the website as well. And you know, that's why I put in the drills, and all my drills, I say just get your first clears down quickly, because if you're the Rumble here, the best thing you can possibly do is just make sure your clears are fast, as equal as possible to the enemy jungler, who now takes away our 4 minute 40, 4 minute 35 Raptors. You know, like, this is very aggressive from the Rengar perspective, and yeah, we have the Aurelion Sol, the Draven's moving up, the cannon is super duper low in case you guys didn't see on the frames there, so it's really on the Rumble to make sure he can get that. We get the flash E there, we get exhausted, we're still able to get the kill. Now the Aurelion Sol is chasing down whoever the hell that was, Emilio, but the Rumble is alive. Rumble can do stuff. The Rumble is the king of the jungle at the moment. Rengar then's gonna jump in on here. We have the E slowing us from the Aurelion Sol. All round, bit of a fiesta. Rengar's aggression, you know, I see it a lot actually, and I understand why. You know, cannon's chunked, cannon's low, cannon's not 6. We can kind of take this numbers advantage, but you're seeing how strong the Rumble holds up in terms of positioning everything. Now, of course, we have our Hex Flash here, and basically the Thresh decides to go in on the cannon with his ult being up, so this is not a very good roam by the Thresh, and of course we saw the Rumble go up. Good patience by the Rumble, and this is something I stress in every level of content I think I've ever made. Track the bottom lane roams. Track their bases, track where they're going to go, track what they're going to do. We see the Rengar still here, now he's low. We get to snack away. This Ornn is forced to rotate, which gives Darius a bit of time to relax. And now we'll get one plate, and we have to go out. Obviously, the Ornn has his ultimate. Does he choose to use it? He does hit the Q, which means he will most likely go in and just kill the cannon. So again, complete disrespect to the Ornn. Like, go diagonally down. Why would you go diagonally in? But the Rumble's like, you know what? Let me just kill everybody. We're not close enough. This is just... You know, I'm trying to educate people, guys, and all you're doing is Fiesta running it down. Now, Darius shows up as well. It's like, oh my goodness gracious me. So if you were wondering, hey, why do my Diamond games look like this? As Rumble goes in with a W, they're absolutely critical. W, excuse me. Q, not W. Too much Ornn Flame's breath. I saw the Ornn Flame's breath and I just projected Ornn's kid onto the flame. So... what we're looking at here is a beautiful hook by the Darius. It's going to lead him to getting a nice double kill. We have the cannon TPing back to the lane using his ult. TPing back, walking back to the lane. Goodness gracious me, it's a weekend, forgive me. I don't understand the Rengar's aggression. Like, we know he's going to go here. It's really dumb. So we rotate over, we have a fight, you know, it's whatever. We go here, we track the Thresh. We know he's going to try and collapse in on the cannon who we want to shove. We bait him in, we get it, we get a plate. That's great. Extract. That's it, end of play. Like, the blue team won this so nicely. They could have just left, but the cannon cuts diagonally towards the Ornn where he can hit the Q. It's just, it's a little ridiculous. Like, you shouldn't be making those mistakes regardless. Rumble is 3-1-4. 7 out of 9 KP. Cannon goes and kills the Thresh. We know now that the Ornn has no ult as well, so we can just get those magic shreds and those slows a little bit, but it's not going to really do much. We don't actually use them. Let's just chunk him and push him out. Darius gets his full wave, we get this RNG Scuttle Crab. Now we know that the Rengar most likely is going to show up on this particular side because he started on this particular side. And, you know, this is the thing, the Herald that everybody wants to snack. So we'll go ahead and actually just pull it out because we know we have this pressure now over the Aurelion Sol in the mid lane. We knew Rengar was going to show up here, basically just jungle intuition and extrapolation. And we do have the lane prior for this. Now, the problem is the Rengar says in a very good way, hey, I'm not going to go and contest this. I'm just going to gank the mid lane. And then I'll have prior for the Herald. And of course now we don't have the numbers advantage. So Rumble needs his 6 because this Champion's Equalizer is disgusting. Already 900 damage for 5 seconds. 900. Whew, that's a lot. So do you want to necessarily run in here and 2v2 this? Probably not. So what we can do here is a nice little loop path action. This is what Rumble's really good at. Basically, you look at this like, hey, this guy just took away my prior for the Herald. What I'm going to do is go back into this, down to this, and then loop back into this. Because Rengar's now not going to be able to hang around because he has red buff, he's taking these camps. He can either go and gank top lane now and then really force this, or he's just going to be forced to go down and leave, right? So the Rumble can basically fall back from this, observe the map, knows the Rengar isn't going on it because we have this, and Rengar's unlikely to do this. And so what we can do is then do this as well and cut back in and maybe even snack that away while the Rengar goes down to the bottom side. See? That's a great play in Diamond. Obviously, it's warded. We will be seen, but we still have prior, and the cannon now shows up again with more prior. So you could really force a Herald here. But what is your win condition? Who do you want to snowball and who do you want to play around? If the choice is, look, this will be on the map in a minute or two so I can come back and still get plates, cool. And Rengar's going to be sequencing down and most likely looking to gank the bottom lane here. Why don't I just shadow him? Because with the red buff and the Krugs, he's not going to hang around for 30, 40 seconds. In Silver, he might. So in Silver, this would probably be a better play just to go and take the Herald. Because your bot lane are going to die anyway, 2v2, or it doesn't really matter necessarily, but the Herald is crucial for you. And because he's not in position to do the dragon, right, you get it. So he sequences down, we shadow a little bit, the Darius forces the Ornn ult. Cannon is not showing respect to the Rengar's presence in the mid lane, nor to the Aurelion Sol. He flashes over the wall, and in the meantime we have something going on in the bottom lane here. You know, this is why, my friends, we want to make sure we use these and get control of what's around the mid lane. Now, Rengar shows there. For Rumble, that's perfect. Oh, this is just a beautiful equalizer position. Yeah, against the wall, easy to hit. Burn damage, tick damage, 900 damage. Die, everybody. Beautiful. The Rengar now is over here. We've seen this. He's chunked. We're level 7. He's level 7. But I think we win. So what we do is we just move on up and we can say, look, I want a dragon. But I know Rengar's in the area, so do I? Hello, Rengar, trying to counter jungle me. The extrapolation, as you're seeing... Oh, that flame spitter didn't quite have enough. Oh, we get rooted by the Ebola. Do we have the movement speed from the W with the shield to get another E? No, not at all. That's not even close. Like, where are you shooting that ultimate? Obviously, he's going to go back this way. Like, what's the probability he goes back this way? Anyway, you're seeing the potency of Rumble in a PvP sense, but you're also seeing the Rumble think about the enemy jungler's kind of positioning as I'm explaining it, and the Rengar is just playing raw aggression without much thought at all, which is unfortunate because, woo, nice. Now Thresh shows up with a Rengar and we die, yeah? There you go. Or just by himself because he's ult. Yeah. Nothing you can do about that as a jungler. You see it, you clear this, you're like, well, now they're going to move up to this, because Darius was in the base. Oh well. That's it. That's all you can do is oh well in this particular case, because obviously the Thresh is going to have roam tempo and control over the enemy Milio and the Jinx. I mean, Jinx doesn't have that same survivability that a Draven will in terms of ISO. Just being immobile and not being Draven or Ezreal or something with a dash kind of puts that in position. The Rengar now also, again, doesn't decide to actually go for this with the Thresh Prior. I think we could have forced something because we know that the Rumble lost and used. Goodness gracious me. I'm going to leave all of this in because it's ridiculous. Use this ult down here, and we have Darius and base. Like, we could actually go ahead and burn this, you know? I don't necessarily think it's as much of a coin flip as people think. And I feel like the Rumble had two decisions. Shadow, gank bottom lane. Rengar cuts in so we get the free gank bottom lane. Or just loop and snack this. You know, Rengar will attack our mid and our bot maybe. But if he cuts into the mid anyway, and we're here and we snack this, then we can go ahead and just rotate mid and shove this out, clean it up, get yourself fed, or just go back bottom lane and gank this, and now you've got this to fall back to here, plus this. Different ways to play the game, obviously. Different priorities. What do you see? What do you think? What are you feeling in the moment about the jungler's position? All of these things factor into what our decisions are going to be. But at the end of the day, we got a 1-1-4 Rengar doing a solid job existing in ulting low HP targets. And the Rumble kind of driving the force of the game. So now, of course, we don't have the Herald, which is why I would kind of want to have the Herald in this particular situation. But we do have the ultimate, so the Equalizer goes down. We'll get the burn damage, tick, boom! And the Rengar shows up with his ultimate, although it's against Emilio, and he does heal everything, but the Rumble says, what? Did you just think you can't out-heal me, Rumble? No. And also, he's got the good item. This item is absolutely huge in general. I spoke about this item 6 to 8 months ago when other people were saying it's a terrible item. It was never a terrible item. So many stats, so much haste, so much rotational power, huge on any champion like this where you don't need the penetration. Because now the Rocket Belt is great, but we have Shred, 20, up to 40, right? That goes even higher when he's in the danger zone, right? So, yeah, we don't need more penetration in this particular case. Although obviously, you know, Void Staff and Shadow Flame and things like this always work nicely, but Ornn is now ulting the Darius again. He's 3-1-1, but, you know, those trades seemingly always, whenever we look at him, it looks like the Ornn's being the more shadier beast, obviously. He's playing Ornn. So, Rumble now controls the Scuttle, falls back to Raptors, back to the Scuttle. Now we're Bing shilling over here. We've used our scanner. We have ult up again in 3. I love the Hex Flash. The Hex Flash is absolutely goated and juiced on this champion, likewise with Poppy, because you can use it to circumvent vision, you have movement speed, and of course, the magical outplays. Oh, we hit the Q from the Milio. It's going to flash the wall here with the Hex Flash, and you see what I'm saying? Night Harvester, Sork Boots, Dark Seal, plus 2 points in E, and of course our Flame Spitter. Now you can look at the damage there. Danger Zone increased to 719 damage. Woo! A lot. See, now obviously the Rengar does the smart thing, which is of course sneak away that Herald, but we see this. Oh my goodness gracious, like people saying this champion is weak. Who says this? Just jungle like a human being, track and take what you can and look for these beautiful ults, max ranges, get some slowed, get some burn tick. What are we at now? 985, and now of course the Aurelion Soul hits an ult that's totally fun, and Kellen says, but my oh man alive, this every high yellow Jinx's ult is a cinematic masterpiece. Not effective at all. You want to see hitting Jinx ults, you gotta go to my coaching channel, look at the silver games. Jinx ults always hit there for some reason. And it's not because they shoot them in it's not because no one's dodging, it's just, they don't overthink it, right? Oh, person is one shot on tower, I shoot, boom, done. And high yellow's like, he's gonna curve it, he's gonna run away from my ult, he knows I have my ult. It's like half the time they don't realize your Jinx ult is up, guys, just throw it in their face. Rengar has Duskblade, kills Emilio, that's totally foreseen. But with 617 now, 88 CS, only down 4 CS. Yes, a bit more skirmishy based. We're not going to AFK farm at all. You want to spike in the mid-game hard and end the game, which is what I focus a lot of my resources on, especially in coaching and courses, because, you know, a lot of people talk about, hey, at 30 minutes, how do I win this fight? You don't have it. You just don't have the fight. I mean, obviously, I've just released a I will be releasing a team fighting video on the main channel as well, because obviously you have fights, but you know, if you're losing games consistently in the 30 to 40 minutes, even with champions like Rumble and Elise and Rek'Sai, what's going on consistently, right? The odd game, sure, but 20 to 25 that's what we're looking at here. A nice, clean skirmish and team fight that we can easily win with good micro and macro around that time frame. GG. That's what we want. That's why we talk about 2 to 3 item spikes, right? Really important concept, I think, when you think about the game like that. Don't think about it in terms of full build. Think about your full build as 2 to 3 items. And now I want to end, right? Because if I can get 2 to 3 items with someone else's 1.5, easy wins. Now, we are not quite yet 11. We could finish the quadrant up here very easily. We're most likely going to go ahead and lose this one because Emilio's going with the cannon to the top side. Darius is pinging MIA because he wants to take this one. So in this particular case, you know, we have Shadow Flame, so we go back to base. We finish our item. That's okay to leave a camp on the map. You could stick it out a little bit and go back to base afterwards just for some added control wards, purely because you know that they're doing this, you cannot contest it, and you'll still get here to hold, so you could. Now, Yeah. Rumble. Night Harvester. Shadow Flame. Soak Boots. 3 items. Oh, 2 item spike. Let's go. We're going to end the game now. We do have ultimate available as well. The Aurelian Soul chucks down astronomical features onto the planet known as Summoner's Rift. Ornn is trying to E away, hits the wall. Rumble just flashes in and says, nah, you die. That E actually missed as well. The Thresh is in a little bit of a precarious situation. The Jinx rocket follows him to his destiny. Darius is like, thank God for all of that pressure release, which is what macro is as well, a little bit of pressure release. We didn't have 11, which is unlucky. Like, you really want to save those critical ults for level 11, because if we look at it, right, you're looking at 140 to 210 to 280, and then 71 to 60 to 50. So you'd have an 11-second lower cooldown on your ultimate, but in this case, don't withhold it when you can win a fight with it. You know what I mean? So it's ideally, I don't want to have to ult until I'm level 11, but if I have to, I will, obviously. Now we scan, we see the Rengar. He should know that we were seen. He doesn't pay attention, and he healed so much damage, and then it just doesn't matter in the end. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting damage on this champion. There's no other way to frame it. When you hit this item spike, and as long as you can hit it quickly, 1,000 already, 1,100 already on the Night Harvester bonus damage. And obviously the little movement speed proc is critical as well. Being able to move in and out of fights with rotational power, with the movement speed boost that we already have our own on that W, gives us a lot of mobility to stick to people that we've already slowed, to catch up to people, to leave fights and go back in again. And Hex Tech Flash gives us all the cool... Hex Flash gives us all the cool mind games we could want. Like, why are we here? You know, whole team's resetting. Why are we here? This applies to junglers as well. Your team's resetting. Why are you there? Be very intelligent about your positioning. Just push waves, draw focus, pull out, easy stuff. We go up now. We'll take this Krug camp. The Scuttle, basically similar value as we keep going on into the game. And now we can basically wait. But the problem is we have no cannon. So can we look to make a pick before cannon is up or before the Baron is up? Things like this. There we go. Ornn's going to go in because they know the cannon's dead. They're going to hit the CC and murder the Milio. And now we're just going to sit in front line, do the magic penetration, burn damage. If everybody gets kicked and Draven gets hooked, he's way out of position. We have no ult anymore, obviously. And there's a lot of damage from the Rumble. Again, always. And the ult is critical. If they all go in on your team like that, and you can just layer your ult as like a carpet, right? Just a beautiful Persian carpet across the fight. They're just getting tick damage over 5 seconds and slowed. Like, it's horrible. You don't want to sit in it, but they have no choice. This is a bit of a chokehold. They've gone in, and you're just disengaging that way. Someone's going to stay and just die, and the rest will disengage, and then you just clean them up. And then your ADC goes between 2 turrets and dies, and like, goodness gracious me, but that's fine. We go ahead and we'll... I'm not even going to rewind that. We'll go ahead and take all of their camps and kill anyone who's out of position. Now, of course, the Ornn is holding this turret here. Flame Spitter does the work again. Ult is up again. That's why we used to have the Leandries. The Leandries Rumble jungle back in the day before Mythics and things like this. Leandries and Proto Belt. Nice dodge. Again, that Aurelian Soul ult, man. Like, I love the champion's thematic, obviously. And the kit before was wonky as hell. But they've just turned it into something so obnoxious, I feel like. It's just so unfun to play against. Even if it's not good, right? It's just unfun to play again. It just runs with an EQ and just burns people down slowly. It's like the damaged version of Ornn. We can do this now. We can do this, guys. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Like the Rumble, he gets it. We've just killed their ADC. Rengar's mid lane. Excuse me, at the microphone. Ornn's on the top side here. Aurelion Sol's gonna show up. We can just clean this up. That was really beautiful by the Milio, though. That was a really nice disengage by the Milio. And then Thresh goes, and we burn it off and finish it. Jinx ult, one more for the resets. Unlucky. Cannon's on the bottom side. We get slowed by the Thresh R. Now Ornn is rotating. The Bowler hits nothing. Cannon's like pressure. Perfect. 041 is on the cards. Ult is available at 40 seconds. That was really nice disengage by the Milio. Actually. Great peel. Now Aurelion Sol's E is as wide as the lane, and it's like, yeah, this was a fun experience. Ornn's not gonna ult, and the Draven, once more with the team fighting, gets sucked into killing the low HP target, walks into the middle of a Rumble and just swats him aside with the flames of doom and despair. Cannon's gonna rotate flank here now. Like, they're just running one at a time trying to kill the Rumble. Their positioning is absolutely horrific, but they also don't really have a choice because of the Rumble just sitting there and spraying with the flames of Mordor. What are you doing? I mean, should we go and do wolves? Not necessarily, but it does heal us up a little bit while we wait for the next wave. This is up, dragon's up. Alright, I guess we're just gonna wait for our ult to be up again and then hit the slow, get the burn damage proc, beautifully done, press the W, extra damage, speed, shields, everything you need. Magic penetration and disgusting ratios. We are now at 1547. Over 5 seconds. While slowed, which you can then amplify with Magic Shred. At this point, they don't know what to do. Like, they legitimately have no idea what to do, because every time they go into the Rumble, he just absolutely rinses them. Absolutely decimates them. That's what I'm saying. 2 item spike goals. 20 to 25, you want to be 2-3 levels up, you want to have that itemization, and you just do this. The team fights are easy. The game is easy when you do that. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something about Rumble, and also had a little bit of fun looking at the Rengar and laughing at his existence. As always, I will see you all on Virkayu.gg or the next video.